Shalom Aleichem. Did you ever want to tell someone you love that they're off track? Maybe your child, your spouse, your friend. You see it, you feel it, it's eating at you, and you're ready to say it. But you know well that the moment you open your mouth, it's going to explode. So you stay quiet, and it burns inside. Or you brave it and say it, and they shut down, they get angry, or hurt. Welcome to one of the most emotionally charged, loaded mitzvahs in the Torah. Hocheach tocheach es amisacha. Rebuke. You shall surely rebuke your fellow. It's a command. It's a mitzvah. But it's also a trap. If you say it wrong, the relationship is off. If you don't say it at all, then you might destroy your own inner peace. So, what do we do? And why is rebuke so hard to accept? And why is rebuke so hard to hear and even harder to say? Of course, the simple answer is because it feels like it's an attack. It threatens my security, my sense of self, demands that I change when I may not want to. And it often feels unfair. Why now? Why didn't you say something sooner? Or you knew who I was all this time. Or you do it yourself. So this week's Parshas Devarim opens with a bit of a shocker. Rabbi Shneur Ashkenazi, our great leader, the ultimate defender of the Jewish people, the one who begged God to forgive them at every tzad vashal, again and again, chapter after chapter. Now suddenly he's criticizing the Jewish people openly, harshly, publicly. What's going on here? At the end of the 40 years, at his very end, he speaks up. Why wait? And why wait 40 years? And if there's a mitzvah to rebuke, why not do it when the things were happening, when everything was going wrong? Rashi, the biblical commentator, tells us that Moshe didn't wait because he was afraid. Moshe waited. Interesting words of Rashi. I know it's windy here, so when I cover the microphone here, Rashi says Moshe didn't wait because he was afraid. He waited because he was wise. He waited. Oh man, a lot of wind here. I don't know if you can hear this or not. I'm trying to cover the microphone. Moshe waited until the people trusted him, until he conquered their enemies, until he brought them to the edge of the promised land. Because rebuke only works when it comes from proven care, from connection, from trust, from love. The Sefer Chinuch explains something profound. He says that rebuke is also not just for the other person, it's also a gift and a protection for ourselves. Because if we hold it in, sometimes it builds and frustration festers, and eventually it blows up, not as calm as it would be now. So it's better not to avoid it, but don't rush it, but do it in the right time and in the right way. So what's the Torah's formula for rebuke? The Torah says the best way to do it, to make it work, and for rebuke to actually work, is connection before correction. Connection before correction. It's deposit before withdrawal. Love before truth. Relationships are like bank accounts. You can't take out what you don't put in. So rebuke is a withdrawal. Rebuke is a withdrawal. Love and presence and consistency are the deposits. So Moshe had been depositing for 40 years, crying for the Jewish people, fighting for them, sacrificing his life for them. Only once this account was full was he able to speak up. And even then, he did it with hints. Actually, Rashi says that he hints at their failures before naming them, or instead of naming them. Because rebuke also could be like a sandwich. You start with care, insert the truth, and close with affirmation, close with love. It's a famous story also about two little boys, one soon to be the Rebbe, the fifth Chabad Rebbe, and his older brother, Reb Zalman Aaron. So Reb Shalom Ber was about 5 or 6 years old. His older brother Zalman Aaron was 7, 8, or 9 years old. And they played a game that Rebbe children play. They played Rebbe. So the older boy dressed up like Rebbe, and he went into his desk and he sat down and he learned Torah. And the younger boy, the 5 or 6 year old, later to be the Rebbe, comes in and says, Rebbe, I need something wrong. I did something wrong. I need a tikkun. I need a fix, a correction. So, what did you do wrong? He asked him to tell him on Shabbos. And it was actually a true story. On Shabbos, I did something that some people say is not the best way to do things. So he went ahead and gave him a tikkun of says, okay, learn the laws of Shabbos and be extra careful on this and do this, that, and the other, and God will forgive you. A few days later, their mother, asked the boy, Rosh Shalom Ber, said, did you do what your older brother told you? So he says, no. He says, why not? He says, because he's not a real Rebbe. Says, why not? He says, because a Rebbe sighs before he gives a tikkun. When he hears that a Jew has a trouble, is suffering, he doesn't just spit out a fix. It's not a machine. He's not a real Rebbe. Another story about this family, his widow and her children who were going to be evicted into the cold Russian summer. Cold Russian winter. What am I thinking? I'm thinking summer, because it's schwitzing here in Cleveland right now. So this Rebbe wanted to go help them, and he goes to the rich man of the community. He goes to his house and he knocks on the door in the middle of the night, at midnight, and he comes dressed in his warm blankets and his thermal PJs, and he said, Rebbe, come in, it's so cold outside. Please come in, quick. And the Rebbe says, no, I want you to come outside a little bit. I need to talk to you about something important. He says, the fireplace, come. The Rebbe wouldn't come in. So he comes outside, honors his Rebbe, and he starts giving him Dvar Torahs, like one, something like this, or other ones about the Parsha. And he's getting colder and colder. He's freezing his toes off. And he said, Rebbe, can we please go inside? No, just a little longer. And he tells him another Dvar Torah. And he's already cannot handle it. So he says, he begs him, please, I can't handle it anymore. What's going on? So he says, the Rebbe tells him, of course, now you feel what I'm about to tell you. If you didn't feel it, had we spoken by the fireplace, by the warm fireplace, you wouldn't empathize. You wouldn't feel their pain. You need to feel. Sometimes you need to, this is a different point over here, but sometimes you need to feel what the other person is going through in order to be able to rebuke them. You have to open up their heart, feel their pain, open up your heart and feel their pain. So your heart has to be open. On a lighter note, a Taimani Jew walks through the streets of Tel Aviv and does what every self-respecting Sabra might do back then when Israel just opened up. He sees that orange tree, climbs up it, and he eats from the beautiful fruit. Oh man, it's wet here. And a policeman saw him. It turns out it was an old yeshiva buddy, and he yells out, ouch. And he yells out, he says, hey, what are you doing? It's not your tree. Don't you remember what we learned back in Cheder in Yemen? Lo tignov, The Torah says, do not steal. And the Taimani looks down and says, what a wonderful country. You get to eat delicious fruit and hear words of Torah at the same time. How do you say Amachaya in Yemenite? Anyway, even the Torah truth, if it's delivered without the proper relationship, it could be laughed off. And if the rebuke isn't wrapped in love, it won't work. And that's why Moshe waited 40 years before he was able to rebuke any words of critique. So how do we, here and now today, give rebuke that works? First is build connection. Spend time, show up. Make the deposits. Deposit into your bank account. Then pick the timing. Never rebuke in anger. Do it when the relationship is warm and when they're clear that you are in their corner. And wrap it with love. Start with love, insert the truth softly, and close with care. Rebuke like a sandwich, not like a slap. And feel it. If you're just venting, stop. If you're sighing before you speak, like a Rebbe, then start. Because rebuke, real rebuke, won't come and doesn't help if it comes from frustration. It can only come from love, from true love. If you want to change someone's mind, first you need to deposit into their heart. Maybe we're reading this now right before Tisha B'Av, because the Beis HaMikdash wasn't destroyed because of idol worship or violence. It was destroyed because of sinas chinam, of baseless hatred. People who judged without love, who criticized without care, who corrected without connection. What would have happened had they rebuked with compassion? Or if we rebuke with compassion, with timing, with softness, with humility, like Moshe. My sages say that the third Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt through ahavat chinam, through love without conditions, unconditional love. Sometimes the greatest act of love is telling someone the truth, but in a way that makes them feel seen and not shamed. So this week, as we prepare to mourn the destruction, let's also do what prevents it. It's not silence, it's not screaming, but soft truth spoken with deep love. Let's rebuild what's broken by making our words into bridges and not bombs. And here we are, ending this running commentary at the Kosher Food Pantry in Cleveland, Ohio. It's right over there, right next to the Torah Nursery. God bless you.